Okay.
In his first network TV interview, the Dominican Republic's top health official tells CBS News the recent deaths of American tourists are from natural causes. At least 8 Americans have died unexpectedly in that Caribbean nation this year alone. But the DR's Ministry of Health says Americans' fears of traveling to the island are unfounded. Mola Lenghi is in the capital, that's Santo Domingo. Mola, what do we know about these cases?
Well, good morning, Tony. The health minister here in the Dominican Republic told us that the autopsies for nearly all of the deceased here on the island show that they all had at least one previous health issue that led to their deaths. But the families of the Americans who have died here remain skeptical.
Is it frustrating that your tests, that your doctors are being questioned?
No,
Health Minister Dr. Rafael Sanchez Cardenas insisted to CBS News that there is no connection between the 8 American deaths this year in the Dominican Republic. What are we talking about, Sanchez Cardenas told us? A group of patients who come with a morbid condition prior to vacationing in the Dominican Republic and have died in the country as tourists die every year in all countries. Sanchez Cardenas explained the autopsies of several of the Americans to us. He says all of them had at least one pre-existing condition, from obesity to hypertension to an enlarged heart to alcohol or tobacco problems. Some friends and family members of tourists who have recently died in the DR refuse to believe it is all merely a coincidence. 56-year-old Vittorio Caruso died on June 17th. Bruce Hicks was his friend.
I hope whoever's in charge over there is getting some answers, because, you know, what Americans want to go over there after all that's gone on, you know?
Human nature is to blame something.
CBS News medical contributor Dr. David Agus says tourist deaths in the Dominican Republic are no worse this year than in the past, but that the chance of death can in fact rise while on vacation.
You take risks. You do activities you wouldn't do otherwise. Normally you're sitting behind a desk all day. And vacation, you go climb a mountain, you jump off a cliff, you go swimming all day. That's a lot of stress.
Sanchez Cardenas says Americans have nothing to fear.
Que tiene la garantía de seguridad absoluta.
The Dominican Republic has the guarantee of absolute security, he told us. The country's top tourism official, Francisco Javier Garcia, had the same message.
What do you say to the American tourists who have concerns about coming here?
That here, we do not have the situation of mysterious deaths, he says. There is no avalanche of death.
Now, U.S. officials to date have also made no connections between any of these deaths. The FBI is conducting toxicology reports on 3 of the deaths that happened back in May at the Bahia Principe resort chain. Those reports are expected back sometime in the next 2 weeks. And Anthony, as you can imagine, families back in the States are eagerly awaiting those results.
I bet they are. Mola Lenghi and the Dominican Republic, thanks. It's a pretty peculiar coincidence.
I was going to say, it's hard not to feel some kind of way when you have 10 people who have died in the same location. And I understand what David Agus was saying. On vacation, you take risk. But in a couple of the cases, they went to the minibar. You know, it wasn't that they were out there doing something that was dangerous.
But if the
very
numbers,
disconcerting.
If the number's going down, you can understand the outrage if you are in the Ministry of Health in the DR.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish there was an explanation.
On the other hand, if 8 or 10 deaths is the lower number than usual, then it's like, whoa, what's a usual year?
Yeah, we'd like to see those toxicology reports.
Yes, we would.